There are seasons in life where the most important word you can learn to say is no. Not because you're avoiding life, but because you're protecting what matters most in what is your goal, what thing you're striving for. And you have to understand that there is a certain level of sacrifice that must be made to attain that goal. Because the more you allow noise and the outside world to interfere with it, the more you try to multitask between what your goal is and what you have to do to achieve someone else's goal or their perception of how you should live your life. And when you try to do that multitasking, all you're doing is splitting the middle and not achieving either one. So understand that there are times when you have to take 3 months, maybe even 3 years, where all you're doing is focusing on the one thing that matters most. Now, Warren Buffett has a practice in figuring out what your number one goal is. And the way to do it is by getting out a piece of paper and a pen and then listing the top 25 goals you have for yourself. Once you have them listed out, you circle the top 5. Anything below 5, disregard them and don't even think about them, because all they are distractions from those top 5. And now if you want to take it an even step further than that, you highlight number 1, and that's your main priority. Steps or goals 2 through 5, all you need to do with those is make sure you're doing the minimum requirements so you're not regressing. Because if you're focused on 5 things, if you're chasing 5 rabbits, you're not going to catch any of them. So instead, focus on that number 1 goal that can truly change your life for the better, that can cause the most growth, that can take you to where you want to be, to success, to whatever it is you're perceiving and your dreams are. And focus on that one goal. Now, it's easy to say, but hard to do in practice, in saying no to opportunities, no to distractions. But take a look at it in a different way. Instead of thinking of it as saying no to an opportunity or a distraction, think of it as a decision. You're choosing between 1 and 2. So if you're saying no to this, you're saying yes to what matters more. And yes, you'll have short-term consequences where, like, if you don't hang out with your friends, they're going to start looking at you in a different way, or they're going to be like, why do you never hang out with us? But understand that if you truly want to succeed, that's what it's going to take. And it's not just hanging out with your friends. It's spending time with people around you. It's spending time in fields with others that don't push you further along. Now, take this with what you will, and take it as extreme as you want or as unextreme and simple. But understand that the level that your goal is, there's a direct correlation between that and the level of sacrifice you must put in and you must understand is involved. Because if you want to make if you want to make a certain amount of money, if you want to help a certain amount of people, if you want to do something and you know it requires hard work, the more time you spend avoiding that work, the more time you're distracted and you don't have full signal on that one thing that must be done, the longer it's going to take for you to reach that. Now, that's all I have for you guys today. Just want to leave you with one thing, and that is, remember that if everything is important to you, if everything is something that's worth doing, if everything is a priority, that means nothing is. See you guys next time. Peace.